past weekend sweep and
Yeah, it was a great weekend for us and great way to come back after a good holiday break and got back after it and had a good week of practice. And really fortunate to kind of keep the momentum going that we left at the end of the first half. And I think it's five games unbeaten, which feels pretty good. And we had talked early on about splitting our season up into thirds, and that was the last part of the middle third there. And now we finish off with all conference games, and so we're excited to get going here with the last couple months of the season.
awesome. Open it up to questions, Jess.
What did you do to kind of fight the rust? You know, holiday breaks are always a challenge.
Yep.
Just how do you come back as strong as you did this past weekend?
Yeah, I think a lot of the credit goes to the players for staying in shape and not having a whole lot of rust. We had a good couple of days of practice, and worked hard, and then all of a sudden we got hit by the snowstorm and so I had to cancel a day, and so I think it was a big credit goes to the players for staying mentally sharp and committed to what we're trying to do. And we're a team that typically plays all of our players 4 lines and 6 or 7 D at times, and so I think that was a part of our success as well, where we're not getting too tired. So it was certainly a fun way to come back off the break.
Doesn't get any easier now. You talk about going into conference series. Minnesota's probably as hot as anybody right now, and I don't know how you slowed on Taylor Heisey. Nobody's figured out a way yet, but just what do you think going into this weekend?
Yeah, it certainly be the toughest challenge we've had in a long time. And I think the nice part for us is, we early in the year, we were really inconsistent, in particular playing defensively. And so the last, 6 games or so, 5 games at least, we've kind of anchored into how we want to play. And so we feel confident in how we're playing defensively. Certainly it'll be tested at the, more than it's ever been this weekend, because they're so deep, and Minnesota's got some elite talent, which we all know, whether it's Taylor Heisey or you could list off about 13 or 14 or 20 more on that team. And so, yeah, it'll be tough. It'll be hard to challenge. But the good news is we feel confident in our goaltending and in our stick position and our defensive posture, if you will. And so we're going to see what happens. And I'm sure they'll expose some things because of their talent, and then we'll just have to adjust from there and try to make adjustments as we go.
When you play non-conference series like you did this last weekend, in men's hockey, there's a discernible West style versus an East style. What do you learn by playing some non-conference competition, especially some Eastern teams? Are there kind of those stylistic differences? Yeah, I think there are. The WCHA certainly has a brand of hockey that we get used to playing, and I think it's the best in college. And so I think especially when you can play teams at home, they have to adjust to us more than we necessarily have to adjust to their style. And so, I think we do have an advantage when we're playing non-conference games at home. And I think you saw that this past weekend. And for us, it's always good to not play in our league. Our league is so tough. There's so many ranked teams. I think there's 5 or 6 ranked teams, the last poll that came out. And so for us to get out conferences, especially with where our program is at, and trying to continue to develop it, it's nice to see somebody that isn't ranked number 1 with 4 Patty Kazmaier finalists or whatever. So it's kind of nice not to look across and see the same jerseys that we see the rest of the year.
Any questions from the Zoom?
Hey, Joel, I asked you on Friday if that was the most complete game you guys have played this year. Was Saturday even better, or was it kind of the same both nights?
I thought it was the same both nights. Saturday we obviously got a shutout, and that was nice to see. But I thought we played the same both nights, and that was the challenge going into Saturday's game. Really is to say, okay, we had 2 back-to-back games against Bemidji that we really were solid in. Now can we do that again? And I thought our players really rose to the challenge and did that. The game was officiated much differently on Saturday. So that took some time for us to, to continue to be patient and figure out what's going to be called and what's not. And as the course of the game went on, I just thought we got stronger and stronger, especially defensively.
Looking at your stat line for your players, some pretty balanced scoring, but the one that stands out to me is Maya Almick. 7 goals, no assists. So you're just playing her in front of the net, or what's the story there?
Yeah, it's funny. You'd think she'd shoot it off somebody's shin pad eventually and get an assist, but I think Maya is somebody who is about as unselfish as you can get. And yet somehow, whenever she's carrying the puck on a 2-on-1, I want her to shoot it. She has a goal scorer's touch. And so I'm okay with 7 goals and no assists. Ovechkin's made a career out of it. He's over 800 now, and I'm certainly not comparing Maya to Alex Ovechkin, but for our team right now, when Maya has a puck in a scoring position, our whole bench is excited because they know she has the ability and has the confidence to put the puck in the net, and she's done it consistently all year.
You talked about your back end kind of being a strength or kind of an identity for your team. How do you balance the puck moving, quarterbacking, run the play part with the shutdown part, and who's doing that for you right now?
Yeah, we've got in particular, I think of the Bemidji series, we were missing 2 of our top international defensive players that were out of the country, and we had a lot of people step up and say, I don't need the puck. I just want to make a simple exit if we need to high off the glass. And we continued to do that even when we got our full roster back. So I think everybody on our team understands that there's times to be the quarterback, but let's also be okay with playing simple hockey and going north. Some of the players that, are, on our special teams, everybody's on the penalty kill, but, Haley Maxwell and Maddie Clough certainly are, they're pretty key for us when it comes to handling the puck and making great decisions, along with Lottie and Nicole. And, when those players get the puck, they're dangerous offensively and they know it. The rest of our group knows that at times they can jump into play and we generated goals from the blue line that way. But at other times they're keeping it simple. And so I think overall right now, when you look at who's quarterbacking the play on the rush, it's probably Maddie, and she's had that role for us all year. The best news is she doesn't try to do too much. She plays within herself, makes a mistake or 2, but knows it, corrects it, and moves on. And it's been really impressive. I think she's been just had a tremendous year.
Women's World's underway. You getting up early following those games? Well,
yeah, it's fun. I was able to talk to some of their coaching staff that I know pretty well, and I think they were beat Sweden, and I think they were up on Canada or Finland, and so it's always fun. I was able to be a part of that coaching staff for 4 years in a row and had some fun, a lot of success, but more importantly, a lot of smiles, and so it's just fun to see those guys having success and remembering how fun those trips were, and I'm looking forward to continuing to watch the tournament.
Further questions from the Zoom? Anything final? Final remarks?
All right, thanks.